Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief Recap. We actually Thursdays. Today is the 27th. Gee whiz, February's almost gone. I guess our RSP contribution deadline here in Canada is the 2nd, but in essence, you got to really have it done here by the end of the week. I can't remember exactly for US, but there is a motivation for Canadians to get off their butt and do their retirement savings contributions. So be aware of that. Today is Thursday. Of course, that means at TRI we have Julian, TRI principal, come on and give his view of the market. He's doing very, very well. He's running his own trading room on the TRI site, and people are super jazzed with the picks and trade ideas that he's posting. So really, really proud of the hard work Julian's put in, and he's doing really well in his trading. So congratulations, Julian. And I think the site enjoyed his report here today. Very refreshing, unique perspective. And remember, all of us traders, we all have different perspectives. So 1 + 1 = 3. I thought he did an excellent job for site members today. I think the general message out of Julian today, especially with regard to things like crypto, is let's just cool our jets. Obviously, there's some pretty big gyrations, volatility in the market. Sadly, you look at the stock market itself, and this has got Donald Trump hallmarks all over it. V tops, V bottoms, just absolute chaos. And from what I understand, his commentary, his speeches of late about how he's approaching coronavirus weren't really received too well. So it's now a case of a lot of people in the States are getting worried about this moving into the U.S. I can't really comment on it. I mean, you can hear in me, I'm a little bit sick. I've got a cold. And it's, it is the time of year when flus and colds go around. So, act accordingly. I wonder, though, when we look at this market, whether there is a little bit of extra push going on in different directions, but at the same time, too, markets are markets. This is why we have to build trading plans, and we have to say, look, if this happens, then don't do this, or if that happens, don't do that. And if levels are broken, just don't have any emotion attached with the idea. Just act, right? So, to that end, I have been stopped out on a bunch of stock ideas recently. Basically, through the end of the year, I was trying to sneak my way in and pick bottoms, and markets politely told me, sorry, Brian, not a bottom here yet. And so I've just been hopping off on a lot of stuff, but, it's just a trader's life. You got to do what you got to do. With regard to you guys, I'd like to just do this quick little summary of what I'm sort of seeing in the market. Ironically enough, not a heck of a lot's changed. U.S. dollar index coming down to 38.2s, which we've talked about lots recently. Euro trade, and Julian was reporting that he's killing the euro market right now, but I think we showed you this recently. Algos were spitting up trade ideas, and it looks like those 50% target levels and chaos levels, I don't know if you can see the chaos level right there, they were basically traded too. So, a trader's life, I mean, bang, 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 there's a little long trade in the euro. I think I've told you guys recently, I actually like the idea of letting these counter trend rallies bring price back up into interesting levels, and then I actually really want to hunt a short on the euro. But we'll see how that goes. And, they have very mixed messages from the markets here. What happened to the gold rally? I mean, it's kind of faltering here a bit. If anything, gold's actually looking dangerous again. So, watch for the position squaring. Trade your setups. Really, we live by setups, right? So US dollar still pulling back, but now finally coming into support, and kind of like with the euro we just showed you, running into resistance, hitting upside objectives. Same thing with the Japanese yen. It's rallied up into resistance, so now probably we're going to see a bit of back and forth. But we'll see what happens. Only time will tell. If we do lose 38.2s and just some sort of calamitous meltdown, look left. Where is key support? We've got this powerful railroad tracks bottom would sort of be my next objective if we do start failing here. But for the time being, I'm kind of thinking, well, they've done the cleanup. We're at 38.2s now. Now we actually find out whether this actually is a bear or whether it's still a bull. Risk on, risk off. They really kicked the shit out of oil here this morning. But interesting how, when we sort of talked about this, when do we see a buy signal? Wait for a W on the other side of the trend line. So I think that was really good at thinking. Actually, in a weird sort of way, we've seen this happen before. I see it all the time in cryptocurrencies and stuff. I think you could actually have a situation where this trend line that was once resistance now actually turns into support, and we walk our way down this trend line from this side. I did go in and pick up a little oil stock here recently. Halliburton, I bought a little bit of it. It's down testing the lows. It's interesting how Halliburton itself has not broken down. But if it loses its recent lows, I'll just walk away. That's not really a very bullish picture whatsoever. But, at the same time, buy your unleaded middle of February, sell at the middle of May, made money in 9 of the past 10 years. The only problem here is you look at sort of the world global sort of situation. Considering all the crap that's going on in China right now, is this going to be a quote-unquote normal, typical seasonal year? Probably not. And then, of course, it's 2020. Told you about 5 different planetary cycles and celestial cycles all coming to a head here. So, ironically enough, I kind of suggested this recently, and I even put a tweet out today to this effect that, if you can't roll with the punches in this kind of market, which I definitely think is sort of this kind of thing, believe it or not, actually, I think your best thing to do is just, put the market away for a year or two and just come back when everybody's thinking clear again. If you can build a plan that takes advantage of dramatic swings to the upside and the downside, and you can trade setups, great. You could have a lot of fun in this market. But this is not for the faint of heart. Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. And if you're kind of like, Brian, I've got a full-time career. I got stuff going. I got kids. I got family. Do you really need to add the added stress of a whole bunch of market exposure in this kind of environment? I don't think so. There are easy times to make money in the markets, and there are difficult times to make money in the markets. My opinion is this is a difficult time, not an easy time. Having said that, you guys, probably a lot of people watching this are like, well, I still want to keep trading, so can I find some W's, please? As I said just a moment ago, no W in crude, so there's really no hurry there. Of course, no W in stock market yet. It's interesting how, stock market, we're just sort of hovering around key support level. And you're going to get this insano nutso kind of price action. We're sitting at a very normal technical objective. We can't really get bullish until we start seeing W's. This might take a while to base here. Hats off to those people that were short, and Julian was saying he made some good money being short. He said he actually covered all of his shorts maybe a bit early. Hindsight's always 20/20. And if anything, this is why I like to that sell half on a double. You can even do it on the short side where you're just sort of slowly spoon feeding the market, whatever asset you're in. With options, you can do that sell half on double kind of idea with short trades. But I would just basically say that we're on pause. Not buying a hell of a lot in the stock market right now, that's for sure. Cleaning up some positions that are breaking down. And I'm just going to be slowly waiting for some sort of W to start forming, kind of like what you see over here. We got to actually This is the same thing when we talk about bull markets and we can't chase. In essence, you have to wait for consolidations and then trade setups following that. Well, same logic here. Nothing's really changed. And unfortunately, show me a new low and I'll show you a ho. What? No, that doesn't work. How does it go? Show me a new high and I'll show you a buy? Well, if you show me a new low, that's probably more anecdotal evidence of sells. You don't like that one, eh? Or he does like that. I think Kavarkinator got a chuckle out of that. Show me a new low and I'll show you a ho. Wow, that's brutal. Anyway, bonds. Wow, bonds sure made a monkey out of Brian here. No doubt about it. Gold, I was happy I was able to play that to a certain degree on the long side, and I'm a little surprised actually that if gold is such a rip roaring bull, why is it crapping out here? So I actually might just walk away from the rest of that long position. It's basically come right back down to the entry. There it is, right back to scratch. I think I might just walk away from the rest of this today. So we'll see how it goes. Don't be surprised if you see, Ryan just walked away from the rest of his long trade. This is the hallmark of this kind of market, man. Don't fall in love with anything. This is 2020. This image here is exactly 2020. This is going to be a messy, messy year as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, oil crapping out. The gold stocks kind of crapping out here a little bit. I don't know whether gold's actually issued any kind of sell signal here yet. I mean, I would have to have like a trade below this low, whatever low that is, 1627, to get some sort of fractal top there. But considering they're selling everything now, and this is actually a really good analogy, right? Where if the stock market gets absolutely out of control, margin calls are coming in, leverage liquidations, blah 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 blah. There's an old expression that says, if you can't sell what you want to sell, you sell what you can sell. So you might actually have a situation here where margin calls or, big financial stocks, stuff like that, people are scrambling right now to cover, open losses, and they might actually have to start selling things like winning gold stocks to actually make sure that they don't get margin called on other things. So I get a funny feeling that's also at play here, right? If you can't sell what you want to sell, you sell what you can sell. There's still a bid in these gold stocks, so people are scrambling and hitting the bid wherever they can generate money. And that, it's a sad commentary of stock market. It is what it is. With regard to new ideas, obviously, like I said, I'm not really in a big hurry to spend money, but, if you have names that have put in bottoms, W's, and we're backing up against lows, keep a real good close eye on names like this, because if you get any sort of W's in here and the story sort of, they're still doing the same thing as before, the stocks might just ratchet right back up. So in a weird sort of way, if you weren't in these kind of names, these are the kind of names where I think, okay, pullbacks are still buying opportunities. And, this is a crypto stock, HUT. Right? We talked lots about that big double bottom. And interestingly enough, basically the stock's doubled through that period. And they're just bringing it right back down to the original bottom here. So, I think this is a kind of opportunity where, the risk window is relatively small. But, like those pot stocks. I bought the pot stocks against the lows. And I had to walk away from them because they broke the lows. I mean, it is a trader's life. But, pretty interesting little risk windows here on a couple names that we already like on the site. So I thought I'd just mention them here today. Corn itself. Interesting on the cash market here. This is Coinbase. We did not trade to this 50% level yet, but you can see the pretty noticeable counter-trend rally here. One thing I did notice about crypto, which I was actually pretty pleased at, is that as the broader market is melting down, actually crypto is enjoying a pretty good market here. So, and in a weird sort of way, crypto might actually be a great leading indicator, because keep in mind, crypto did start to break about a week or two ago. I don't know whether the stock market's trying to play catch up right now with crypto, but I am pleased to see that, coming out of last night into sort of profit objectives that were hit on leveraged exchanges like this OK Coin. We're enjoying a nice little bounce. It's way too early to call a buy signal. But, very encouraging to see that, yeah, it turns out that actually that 50% level, there was some buying interest down there. So that definitely fills me with a little bit of confidence that maybe the short-term slide in crypto is done. We've hit 200-period moving averages on things like Stamp. And Litecoin, man, that Litecoin, just vicious. A little disconcerting to see that now Ethereum has doubled, or actually triple topped. Julian, of course, talking about shorting Ethereum itself up top here. I played the long side through options. And actually, I was pleased to hear that Shane went and hedged our little options account by shorting some Bitcoin, I think actually he bought puts. So, way to go, Shane. So, we definitely had this, and I think this image is perfect, right? We had this period that took to find a bottom, period took to find a top. My hunch is the next sort of bottoming window is probably going to take a week or two to develop. And actually what I'd really like to see, and I talked to you guys in the free videos about this before, what I'd really like to see is a stab down into Mountain Man, and then a nice solid rejection and a move back up. If we see this kind of action, then I think, crypto's actually turned the corner and we're going to start climbing the wall of worry here. All right, nothing really in particular to talk about in altcoins other than I'm trying to buy, kind of like the same thing as these charts. You see this mana. I'm trying to sneak in here and grab some of that, but they won't give me a fill, bastards. So I just got to be patient, and you can see there really is no W here on the bullshit. So we just got to cool your jets and just wait for the bottoms. All right, I think I'll leave the free video at that today. Not a whole hell of a lot new to talk about. The market really hasn't changed a heck of a lot overnight. So have yourselves a great day, everybody. All the best, and bye for now.